Hi everyone, it's Judy. Welcome back to Rose Lane. This is the second part of the Never Ending Ephemera folder. What I wanted to show you that I didn't do on the last part was I had some scraps that were left from the, I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, like, you know, advertise here. Okay. Anyway, I had some scraps that were left from the calendar envelopes that the calendars come in that I order every year. I cut out the bigger chunks and used them for the covers. And I happen to have two of these envelopes. So I used them on here like so, okay? On this one and on the other one that I had not put together yet, but that had the music paper on it. I'm not sure where I shoved them, but oh, here they are. So that's what these were, okay? And these were scraps that were left. So what I decided I was going to do with these, first I threw them away, but what I decided I was going to do with these, and I want to do this first before I put pockets in the other thing, is on these back pages here, I wanted to make it so that I could hold whole pieces of paper, you know, digitals, printables. So right now, my printers, both of my printers print, they don't print borderless. I have a white border. So if I cut them down, they would fit okay in a larger, you know, 11-inch. If I just did like an 8.5 by 11, they'd fit in an 11-inch holder. However, I'm hoping to keep these for a while, and I'll probably need a new printer before these wear out, I'm thinking, maybe. So I want it, and my next printer, I want it to be able to print borderless, because, you know, that's pretty time consuming, cutting off all the borders. And then if you use coffee dyed paper, then the digitals are different sizes than the coffee dyed paper. And it's just kind of, you know, you want to try to, you know, streamline your process as much as possible. So these guys are long, okay? They're long. I can make them fit from top to bottom, and I'm going to have to trim them just a wee bit, though I'm probably going to go right up to the edge here and right down to the edge here. I'm not going to, you know, do the file folder, but actually go right to the edge of the paper, to the cover as much as possible to give myself enough room. And that way, a full 8.5 by 11 paper will fit top to bottom. Don't have to worry about it being trimmed. So I'm going to use these pieces. Now, there's pieces that fold over and stuff that are left on here, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to get these the right size. So these were chunks that were, I already actually did these, so they're ready to go. I need to make 2 more sets. So let me see, there should be a couple more here. Here it is. Okay. So there are a variety of different pieces here. This one's got a fold over. So this is what I'm going to do. And I have to bring up my guillotine to do this. So it may be a little, you know, abrasive here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this piece off, not the part that's got the you know, glued part, but I'm going to cut this piece off. And what this is going to be is my back pocket, okay? And you'll see that shortly as we do this. And that may be a little crooked, but that's okay. Let me see. Get it to where. Yeah, that looks so. Let's just pull this out a hair. There we go. All right, that should work. I'm not really worried about these being consistent as far as sizes are concerned. They're meant to be a tuck. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pull this part off. Okay. Just pull this one off here where they've got it glued, just like, you know, a cereal box or any other box would be glued. I'm going to throw that out. And I'm going to cut off this flimsy piece that is now flimsy because I peeled it. And I'm going to go to just 1 inch on my guillotine here. Actually, I can go right to the edge, I think. Okay. And I'm just going to trim that off. And now, and this piece I'm going to throw away. And I have that. So now what I have is another set like this, okay? And that might be a little wider. It doesn't matter. It's just meant to be a tuck, and you'll see that in a minute. And we'll ink these in a few minutes. And I want to get the next set ready as well. So this is the straight edge. So I'm going to come here, and let me see my widest points. This one looks like it's pretty good already. And we'll use those for the 1 inch. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to try to make a tuck that's pretty even. This is all uneven. I don't know how much you can see that on the camera because of the way this is. All right, and we're just going to trim that down, and we'll throw this little scrap away. And that'll be another tuck. And we're going to do the same thing to this one. Here's the straight edge, and this is all wobbly from where I, cut it just to, just to cut it. And we're going to do our best. I want to make sure that it hangs completely over and trim off this uneven edge. That was close. Not great, but close. Okay. So that's another tuck. These things, this is where they tucked in, the flap tucked into the back. That's in the garbage because I really couldn't, figure out how to use that one. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to cut off along this, okay, and get myself a straight edge here. Okay. And this one I'm going to have to, yeah, I should peel it back. It should be okay with that. I'm going to take that little flap off, okay? And then I'm going to come here on the not great side. I now have a straight edge here. I'm going to bring it over to the 1 inch line. I'm going to get it into the 1 inch. Okay. Make sure that's all the way over there. And we'll cut that one. Throw that little bit away. Do the same thing on here. Now, if you have, these calendar things laying around, that's great. If you don't, you use what you have, and it all should be okay. I'll probably put a little piece of paper or tape or something on there, just to give that a little bit more stability because we do want it. So we're going to bring this up here. This is my straight edge that we just cut. I'm going to put it at the 1 inch mark, and we're going to cut that down, okay? Now, right now, let me find, I actually wrote on a piece of paper over here, so I knew how many I needed. I am probably done with this, but maybe not. I can use my little one, actually. So what I'm going to do is where I've got these, let me just make sure, these two, where I peeled off that, and I'm going to do it with the art glitter glue, where I peeled off that extra paper, because it was an overlap, and it made this a little, thin. I am just going to glue a piece of, most likely this is a, 32-pound paper. Okay, and somewhere I have small scissors. Here we are. And I'll just go ahead and trim that. Okay. This is going to show on the outside, so wherever I have glue, right? Nothing works on gluey stuff. And now I'm going to have to get, what do you call it, and clean that up. Alcohol. All right, so let's go ahead and do that there. And like I said, I am not concerned about it not being absolutely, perfectly lovely because it's for me. And it's a work folder, which is why I'm not fancying it up. I mean, you can, if you want to, you can add lace to the ends of the pockets. I'm going to leave those out. Remind me, I need to get them cleaned. Okay, so we have that now You barely notice it, but it makes it a little stronger. Okay. Okay. Now let's actually, well, let me close up my glue because I do have to take a minute to do some inking. All right, so, and this really takes the ink nicely. This cardstock that they use. So, you know, I save these things because they're so pretty and I hate to throw the pictures away. And I think someday, well, you know, maybe I'll frame some and hang them in my house. I mean, how many can I hang in my house without it looking like a museum? Not so much, you know, where we live now, as, you know, we are active in our careers, you know, in our ministry, but in our forever home or retirement home, when I can fill up the house with, you know, all different kinds of things. I may rethink that when I realize that it's getting harder and harder to clean all these little kinds of things. So I do apologize for taking the time to do the inking now, but it does have to be done. I wanted to show you how, you know, look around and see what you have and what might work and how you can play with it a little bit to make it work, you know, for you. This is definitely a recycling kind of thing, because I recycled, you know, 2 of these envelopes. And I get them every year, and I usually have more than one because I have one usually that I keep in my bedroom, one that I keep in my kitchen, and quite honestly, the one I keep in my bedroom is really because I just like looking at the pictures. I can look at the pictures and they're just so sweet and calming because they're all that, you know, kind of primitive art, that country kind of art, and the pretty, you know, seasons that, you know, you have the pictures of the spring and the summer and the fall and the kind of farm activities that go on, but they're all primitive painting kind of, you know, kind of things. Whimsical and very sweet and all's right with the world kind of feeling, which Lord knows if you watch the news, that is not the message we are getting. So I like to try to get a message like that wherever I can. So I have the one in my bedroom. I usually have one in the kitchen that we try to use to keep appointments on so that when somebody calls, we'll know. Because honestly, I mean, we do use our phones because especially when you're out and about and people call, or, you know, you're at an event or something and somebody, you don't, you know, necessarily have a calendar that you're going to whip out anymore. They, you know, you put it in your phone. However, one time, and I want to keep checking because it doesn't make a noise for me anymore when I run out of room, and I'm afraid I might run out of room. So that's why I'm trying to get this done as quickly as possible. But there was one time when something happened with my phone, glitched, the phone just glitched, or I was after an update and it glitched. I don't, you know, or during an update and it glitched. I don't know what happened. But it completely wiped out my calendar. If you have a smartphone, you know that you can, you know, you can go into search and you can write, you know, you can type dentist appointment. And if it's still in there, you know, it could be a dentist appointment that'll show up from 3 years ago, but it's there, you know. Well, it wiped out everything from my phone. Okay, so we have 4 of these now. I'm only going to need 2 for the moment. Well, I will need 4. But I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this. Okay. So anyway, all that to say that I still love my good old-fashioned calendars. So we're going to go here. We're going to go to the back cover. Which way does this go? I want the front. This is front. Okay. I put these pockets in already on the one side for a reason. Because I wanted to show you how we were going to put the other things in. So this is what we're going to do. I want these 4. Oh, look at that. I inked them and then I forgot I had to cut them. So we're actually going to go to the top of this because this one is, I want to make sure I am cutting them in the right place. Let me get a pencil because I really do want to go right to the ends. All right. So we're going to do 2 of these. I might actually be able, no, let's just do this, right? There still should be room. So let me get my little guy so I don't have to bring up, oh my goodness, I'm stretching. I've got a drawer open and it's wedged under the drawer. So we'll just bring this little fella up and we'll cut this one here. Could probably go a hair more. What is this? Piece of ribbon. Okay, we'll go there. All right. And ink. Okay, and the same for this one. Okay, and ink. And we'll do this one from the end that we patched. So let me just go here. And that'll make that a little smaller. And this one. Okay. And that makes this one considerably smaller. Not sure why, but it does. Okay, let's hope I have done these correctly. Let's make sure. Yep, okay. Okay, so cut that part off. Yep, that's fine. And this part off. And I think what we'll do, yeah, we're going to put them in on the one side. And I will, did I ink that one? I'll find out when I get there, I guess. Okay, let's put this fella down here. He may fall over, so let's do that. All right, get rid of those. Bring these this way. See, this tape still does want to come up, but I'll figure out how to make it stay down. All right, so this is my thought. What I wanted was I wanted pockets that would go here, well, tuck spots. And I want to bring it back as far as I can because I want full pages in here. Now this is how wide? This is almost 9¼ inches to the center. I think what I'm thinking here. So I'm going to put this in and I'm going to put it in just a smidge away from the fold. Okay, can you see that? Just a smidge away from the fold. So I'm going to get my glue and we're going to glue this down. If I can get my glue to come out. Let me clean my nozzle. I'll try to get a pin over here. There we go. Getting everything besides what I wanted. Okay. Clean that off and let's try this again. Come on. So that being said, and I don't want to come too far down because I want to make sure I leave myself as much room as possible to have, you know, plenty of clearance for the paper. Whoops. Get off there a little bit. Must have my finger in the glue somewhere. Don't know where. Go ahead and do that. Okay, I'm going to stand up so I can make sure I get this right on the edge. And I want to go, maybe about 1/8 of an inch away from the center. Now, where's my white? Here it is. Okay. Now, what I usually do to give myself a little more room is I pinch this in a little bit. Push this way, push this way. It makes a little bit of a bulge in the middle. And what that does, seems to me, is makes it easier to hold large paper. I mean, not large paper, but like several layers. That's what I'm trying to say. This one's going to be like a belly band. We're only going to glue this top and bottom. So let's go ahead and put that there. And you may be seeing me. I apologize, because I have not yet washed my hair today. Okay, and I want this probably a little less than halfway, or about halfway. Between here and here, okay? And again, I push, I get that little bit of a bulge, so that helps me get more stuff in. And we're going to do this on the other side the opposite way. So it's going to go this way and this way. So the papers will go in and out like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this a pocket, or just like a little tuck, not really a pocket. Okay. Go down here like so. And then while these are drying, I'm going to flip over the other side and show you putting on the pockets. Okay. So we're going to go here like so. Get it just about the same distance, hopefully, from the center. And it just so happens that that has sort of a lighter line from where it folds. I'm going to push in this way, give myself that little bit of a bulge here. Because like I said, it just seems to me, and then I press the back down again. I'm only worrying about in here. Okay, and then another one here, just top and bottom. 1 and 2. And we're going to go, I'm only eyeballing this. I don't know exactly how wide that was, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. Okay, press that down, push that just a little bit. And I do this because I tend to have an awful lot of papers. Okay, so we're going to let this one dry, and we're going to now work over on this side. Okay, so these are our first pockets that are going to go down, and we don't necessarily have to go through all of this. Like I said, this is just some pretty heavy cardstock, and I just inked the edges just to give them a little something. These file folders are old. I have the blessing and the curse, I guess, of having to clean out old record rooms and things. And sometimes, you know, it's time for us to purge the older records according to our schedule and things like that. So I could just throw this into the recycle bin and let the recycle people take it and just grind it up. Most of the time, what happens when some of these folders get older, the flap part that holds it in starts to loosen up, and yes, you can glue them and all that kind of stuff. It just depends. But some of, you know, these folders were probably, if I'm recalling correctly, came from like about the 1980s. I think it's okay if we go ahead and get some new folders. So, you know, so they're kind of faded and a little worn and sometimes a little crunched in places. You know, sometimes they might be written on or something. It just depends. So as I was getting rid of some old records from one of our places where we were stationed. Instead of throwing these out, I just put them to the side because they were an old faded color, and the you know, the ridges, or not the ridges, the metal pieces were starting to come out. So this pocket is 4 inches, this pocket is 3 inches, and that's the only sizes I used, was the 4, 3, and 2 inch pockets for various sizes of ephemera. And you'll see on the other side when we get there in a minute how I used some other vertical pockets, or how I will use some of the vertical pockets anyway. So this can hold small ephemera, this 2 inch pocket, but what I found, and I, you know, forgot to bring them over here. I might have to take a quick run to the other side of my room. What I found that would work for holding small ephemera is I have a little packet, and you can make these as well, either from vellum. I happen to have some vellum ones, or you can make them from tracing paper as well. Just little envelopes, so you can see through them, but they'll hold all your small pieces. Okay, so on this side, now remember, this side of the accordion has only 6 panels. The other side has 8. So one side can hold what I would envision as a larger project, something that I've collected far too much stuff for and probably will never use, even a piece of something, a piece of many things in the project. But you know, you just never know which one I'm gonna want or choose, or how big it's gonna end up, or, you know, whatever. So, yeah, okay, so we'll go here with this one. This one's a 3 inch, so 4, 3, 2. This one's gonna be a 3 inch with 2 inches. Okay, and the trick too with putting in the pockets for shorter things is don't put them right up against the top. Give yourself some space, okay? So that, you know, things don't pop out the top of your folder, or, you know, whatever, or fall out or something. But like I said, I mean, there may be some smaller cards that I can put in here that you'd be able to, you know, not have to put into a a little envelope. But if you have, you know, tiny, you know, smaller fussy cuts, postage stamps, tickets, butterflies, something like that. Now I'm going to bring this one, actually I'm going to bring it down just a wee bit. The reason being is because, now remember, you can fit things that are taller than the pocket, okay? But I want to use this, or be able to use this, for smaller things if I want. But if I do need to put something a little bit taller, I have the space, I have the height coming up out of the pocket, because you never know what your kits are going to bring. And this is meant to be reused for your projects, for whatever working projects you have. So this folder will hold 2 projects. So let me get this. I'm going to get this down so you can see what I'm doing here, okay? And I'll probably finish this off camera. But let me go ahead, put this one, I'm going to bring it down a little bit more. Okay, because again, I can put shorter things or taller things in here, and or both. I can put little envelopes with, you know, little clear or see-through envelopes with little tiny fussy cuts, and then still put some, you know, kind of smallish or medium smallish cards behind it. Let me check my thing. I'm still going. And then what's my time? I'm upside down. Okay. All right. One thing I did want to do that I did not get was, oh my gosh, I'll never get it out of here. There's something I said I was gonna, oh, let me go get those envelopes and let me see what else I can do here. Hang on one second. Not sure I can find these things that I'm looking for. I should have been more prepared. I don't know if you can even hear me. I used to have them. Okay, let's take these. Okay. All right. So these are the little envelopes that I'm talking about. Okay. And you can take, let me just show you. This is just for a little example. You can take some butterflies and you can put your butterflies, this is broken, but you can put your butterflies in here, okay? And they can go in here like this, or you can stand them up in here like that, however you would want to do that, okay? So you can make your own little vellum envelopes or tracing paper envelopes or something like that. So let me just put that back. And what I wanted to do, I'm getting caught on the label. All right, let me put that there. Let me see if I can get this out without making a giant mess. Because why? Oh, well, I'm on the wrong shelf, first of all. Okay. So much stuff in front of everything. Okay, I have these old copier transparencies. And what I want to do is, and I may have a couple pieces here I can use. Okay, so I think, let me just put these to the side for a minute. What I want to look at is a couple of these. Okay, some index cards, okay? And I'm going to cut these, and I think this is going to be too small. Yeah, I think I'd rather have a little bit more room. So let me put that there. This is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a half. These are 5. I'm going to go with 6. Okay, and I'm going to just trim this down. Actually, let me get my little guy. I think that would be easier. Let me get my little guy. Okay, let's trim this to 6. Now, I'm thinking we'll use the 3 by 5 index cards, okay? So we'll get rid of this little piece. And you can use, you know, vellum, you can use whatever. So these are 3 by 5, right? 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to do 2.5. Okay. The reason why I'm going to do 2.5 by 6, well, that was pretty stubborn. There we go. Is because I want the card to be able to stick out of the top, so you don't have to struggle to get it out. Okay. Okay, now I don't know which way was 6. Are you the 6? You pretty much are. Okay. So then 2.5. I think that's where I was, right? 2.5. I hope I'm right. Okay. I'm just going to put that piece over there. So I have 2 of these at 2.5 by 6. So what we're going to do, and we'll go back, if I have the time, we'll go back and do that. But I want to do this part first. I want to get this on. And I'm not too worried about if you see the glue or not. You can always take some washi tape and go around the edges of the pocket, which maybe I'll do. I don't know. I have to lean back so I can see where I am on this. Okay. All right. And we're going to put the pocket on the front, just like so, or not. All right, I have to hold it up to see if I've got it straight, which is funny with my eyes because I couldn't see anything. Okay. Now we're going to let that one sit, let it dry good and dry before we try to stick a card in. And we're going to go to the other side before I lose the other piece of film. You could do this with, you could just make a pocket, you know, just cut a piece out of something like this. If you have acetate, you could do it with that. You could do it with a piece of vellum. The thinner, the better, the finer, the better, so that you can really see through it, or tracing paper. You can do it with a window envelope, particularly one that might have a wider window would be good. Try to get that glue off of here. Not that that's going to matter too much. Of course, I just made a mess out of it. Okay, that may be a little bit of an issue, but again, it's mine. So let's go ahead and put that there. Try to make sure that's as straight as possible, hopefully. Okay. And that's going to be that. So you have a pocket. And then with every project that you do, you just slide your card in. Okay, so there you have it. You can write the project name on top. You can make it a little higher if you want. You could put, you make it fit in and just put a thumbnail, you know, a thumb hole if you want. You could just kind of slide it out like that. Whatever you would prefer to do. And like I said, you can write on it, I don't know, you know, Christmas journal, Victorian Christmas journal, let's say. And then you can list whatever papers, whatever digitals you're using, so that you have a record of what that is and where to find it if you need it, etc., etc. So that is that. So let's have a look at our book, okay? So we're still doing this side. So here's the one side. Let's put that in there so that we can have a, you know, you can make these prettier if you wanted to, and you'll doll them up if that's what you want to do. It's a practical thing for me. So here we go. Let's see what we have. So these are some projects that I'm going to get started on. Okay. So I have these papers. Let me take these out. Let me find ephemera. Just dropped. Yes, you heard it, and I broke it. Yes, I did. I just broke a cup. It's a cup that I had on here that had some flowers in it, but I knocked it off the desk. Okay. All right, that's this one. So let's go here. We'll go with this. Let's take out some of the ephemera. Okay, this isn't everything I have, but it is some. So we can put cards in here like this, okay? Can open these up and put them in like so. All right, you can even do the same on this side if you wanted to. All right, smaller cards can go up here. In this case, we'd have to turn them sideways, but you still have them there. You can even turn the larger ones sideways, perhaps. So, you know, you have all of that space like that. Same thing over here. Let me see what else I have. These are more things here. Some other things that can be done. So this is an envelope, okay, still not quite put together, but that goes here. This is another envelope, and I can just stick that like that. Here's some little guys. We can put these little tags in here. Or again, you can put them in envelopes if that's what you prefer. Even these fit here like this. Okay, and they fit here. Here's another envelope, and you can keep envelopes together if you want. This is another envelope. Okay, things like that. Here's some other bigger cards. Okay, so you have those. Here's some larger tags. Can go down in here. Another envelope, or you can put that over here with this one. However you want to do it. Here's some other little guys. Go back here with some little guys. We can put little guys up in here. Here's some other tags, cards. Go in here. We have taller tags. Like this. Let's see. Am I there yet? No. Well, I could be, but they can go. So you can see how you can, you know, just spread your stuff out, use your stuff, put it all in here, however you want to put it in here, according to style or whatever. These are meant really, which I don't have anything right now for this yet, because I have to make them, but they're really meant for taller, like really tall. If you have a tall skinny journal you're doing, you can put them in here. You can still put them in here this way, or you can put them in this way, like that, not with their little heads in there, but you could do that as well. And then you have a deeper pocket that's down here for something that might be bigger. So you can put these things in like that, or like this, or like this. Okay, and you can see what you have like that, and you've got more room over here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and we're going to get to the papers. These are more things I need to cut out. So again, you have a side like that as well. This is how the papers work. So here is a digital from the main kit itself. So we're going to slide that in under here, and then slide that into this pocket here. Okay. And these are digitals for the pages. Okay. And you could see why I wanted to make that a little deeper. These are some digitals to use for pockets, background pages, tags, whatever that might be. And they go in here. Now, if it gets too thick and, you know, it doesn't quite fit or something like that, you can always just put it in this way, and you don't have to put it in under the band as well. Some of these are a little bit bigger than some of the others. So that is how this works. So you have this on this side, goes this way, this way, this way, and then this way, and then you have the other side. For a new project, might be smart to put an edge on there or something. And then you can put more things in. I don't know what I have. I don't know. What else do I have here? I have other things here, but I can't. If I do it, I'm going to knock something else over and break it. But here's another side for another kind of journal. Okay, some small stuff up here, like so. Some larger things here, like so, and so on and so on. And then you have this side, and then you have the other pockets that we'll put in here, and then it closes like that, and we're back to the other side again. So it's a 2-project, never-ending ephemera folder. So that is what we have, guys. That is, I'll stop the video here so it doesn't have to get too long. We're already at almost 45 minutes. But I just thought you would like to see it kind of filled up and what you can do with it. And if you wanted to, you can even put more, which this isn't it, but you can put like another pocket on top of here, which I may. I may do that as well and put another, you know, little pockets down here as well. And see what else we can stuff into these places. So you will see this. You will see me using these as I work on my projects. But it does make it a whole lot easier for you to see the ephemera that you have. And, you know, what you can do with it and how you can store it. So that is going to be it for now. I hope you enjoyed these 2 videos back to back. It was kind of long, but it did show you the whole process of how to assemble. What you can use that might be laying around, old file folders, old calendar envelope, or an old calendar even, depending, and, you know, whatever you've got that you can use, and just use it up and make it work for yourself. So that's it for now. I hope everybody enjoyed these videos and you find them you know, inspirational and something maybe you would want to try to do to help organize yourself. So that's it. Be happy, be safe, and be blessed. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye for now.